Hello and happy autumnal equinox to everyone. I'm so excited that you've decided to watch this video, Finding the Balance with Your Inner and Outer Relationship. And we're going to talk specifically today about that relationship that you have with yourself. As you can see on your screen, the little kitty cat sees itself as this big, strong male lion. Because really, what matters most is how you see yourself. I'm Melissa Sarazin. I am the caretaker of Sacred Vision Life. Sacred Vision Life is really all about a unique system that helps women to focus and partner with the sacred woman archetype to really guide us and help us remembering our connection and to realign with our own personal power so that we may all activate the leader from within. Whether this be in your personal life, your personal relationships, or your business, we all really deserve to step into our personal power in a way that feels good. As well as the Sacred Vision Life, I've also authored my own book, How Saying Yes to Depression Leads Us into Healing. It is my own story, how I finally got the courage to stand up and say, yes, there is something wrong. And it is my responsibility to go out and find something that works for me. And so that is all about that journey. So let's get into the call today. Like I said, it's all about this balance with the inner and outer relationships. And really, the biggest struggle I find when I talk to my clients is finding the time for yourself in a quiet space on a daily basis. Being in that quiet space really helps us to connect, helps us hear, and helps us really trust our intuitions. Now, the struggles that go with finding that time, as women, it's hard to put ourselves first when others depend on us. Some of us have young children, some of us have animals, some of us have jobs and careers. Whatever it is that takes the focus off of yourself, we tend to think of others first. Another struggle that we come up against is that we're so used to saying yes to others that we don't always realize that what happens is that we break our word to ourselves. We say, okay, I'm going to do this for you right now, and then later I'll get back to myself. And then later comes and, we're exhausted from everything that we're doing, and we just want to sit down and take a break. And so we break those promises, and energetically, that's very draining. Another negative belief and struggle that I've found comes up is around celebration. When we're celebrating ourselves, when we're celebrating our own ability to take charge of our life, to really step into our power, celebration seems to be a bit muted. But we don't have any problem rooting for and celebrating with others. So those beliefs really need to be uncovered so that we can celebrate ourselves wholeheartedly and really just dance like no one is watching. Another struggle I see is that our focus is scattered. There are so many things. Taking care of others. There's the managing of your own energy, of all the things that you have on your to-do list. And when our energy is scattered, it's really hard for us to focus. It's really hard for us to go through our days with ease, to go through our days feeling peace, no matter what is happening around us. And another struggle is that we hurry through the process. We really want to just plow through this. Okay, great, I've got this amount of time, this is what I'm going to do in this amount of time, and I'm going to force myself to sit and plow through it. And that is a quality that we all need to get us through to completion. However, there are times when we're manifesting something into the physical that we need to give ourselves some time to hold a bigger space for that manifestation to come through the way that we truly desire. So how can we overcome these struggles? Like I said, Scheduling time for ourselves and guarding that time as if you would a newborn baby. You know, when I first became a mother, I was so surprised at this fierce protective energy that I felt. And so now I call on that energy. I call on that remembering when I've got a choice between taking that time that I've scheduled for myself or giving it to another person. And I've really learned to guard that time, and it gives you the ability to say no, which I could put in the list of struggles as well. And I know we've talked about this too, keeping your word to yourself. You know, giving yourself that time when you said that you would and really sticking to it. And sometimes, this can require flexibility. I know just the other morning we got woken up by a phone call, 5:30 a.m. It was my husband's job calling, and the breakfast chef didn't turn up or she called in sick actually for her shift, and so he had to get up and go to work. And of course that was 15 minutes before my alarm went off so that I could get up, be in some nice quiet time space for myself, and actually to go for a run. And so he went into work, and I didn't get to do that run anymore. And so I could have went and stepped into the rest of my day feeling really grumpy. But instead I thought, okay, so how can I rearrange my schedule to still fit everything in? And so what I did was I read something that I'd been wanting to read for a really long time until it was time for my girls to get up. I got them up, I got them breakfast, made their lunches, I hung out with them outside while we waited the bus. My 6-year-olds just learned how to ride a two-wheeler, so of course they're out there riding their bikes and celebrating this new ability. And then I promised myself, as I was making the lunches for the girls, I promised myself that I would do my strength training this morning, and then I would go for my run in the evening. And so they left, and I kept that promise to myself. I allowed myself to be flexible, and I did still go for my run in the evening. So what I'd like to talk to you about in this video is really helping you to create a focus just in one area of your life and just to change one thing. A lot of the times we like to take on these big challenges thinking that energy is going to really propel us forward and into creating this change in our life. When in actual fact, one area and one change at a time is the best that we can do, because we have so much else on our plate. And it really teaches us to be gentle with ourselves. It teaches us to be intimate with where we are in our lives and to really get to know that one part of ourselves, to really dig down deep to see what's really there. Why haven't I created balance in this way before? And so I'm going to suggest that for the next 3 months, you give yourself some time and some space to experience the one change that you desire, just picking one area of your life. And so I said at the beginning, happy autumnal equinox. So why am I doing this today? How can the energy of this equinox support your desires? Well, during an equinox, it gives you a time window, an energy window, and this one really supports you in creating more balance. There are 2 points during the year. There's this point at autumn and another point at spring where the light and the dark are of equal length. And so there is that perfect balanced energy during this window that you can tap into. You can ask to come into your life and to help you to see what you want to work on and how you can create that plan to make it happen. This is also a harvest time. It's a time, again, celebration. It's a time to honor where you are in your journey and all that's come into your world at this year. We all start the new year off with good intentions, resolutions, whatever it is you want to call them. And this is a really good time to look at and to be grateful for what has shown up in your life up until this time this year. And of course, that brings in the gratitude. It brings you gratitude for where you are, what you have accomplished. And when that gratitude is amplified, the universe then says, oh, look, She's happy with all these things. Let's give her more. Let's give her more energy to bring that ease and flow into this person's life. And so I've got a few questions for you to ask yourself so that you too can gain your focus and get started. Okay, you ready? The first one is, what area in my life requires attention so that I may bring in more balance? And now you can write these questions down as I go through them and go back to them later. You can write them down and answer them right now, right here while we're in this space before going on to the next one. So I've given you time in between each so that you can pause this video and answer them right now if that's what you want. So the first question, again, what is the one area of my life that requires my attention so that I may bring more balance to it? The second question is, what is one simple action that I can take in order to feel more of how I want to feel? As women, we're very close to our feelings. We know how we want to feel. So let's get specific. Let's create this focus and step into that feeling. The third question, when I commit to this action, what will the results be after 3 months? And I know it's not always possible to see what the results be, but let's add to this question and let's ask what would be the best results after taking this simple action for 3 months. And again, use that feeling that you want to feel into this. And allow yourself to just be led by that feeling. Have that feeling speak to you. If I were able to do this one simple action, so if I was able to get up 20 minutes before everybody else in my house, if I was able to get down onto my meditation mat and just take some deep breathing exercises, just really breathe into my body to see how I feel right here, right now at the beginning of my day, so that I can then set an intention. I can pave that energy pathway so that I can choose to feel more of what I want during my day. I choose to have this ease and flow as I go through the many different activities of my day. I want to feel peace no matter what. So when I commit to this action, what will the results be after 3 months of really focusing on me, taking that time to go inner and to pave that energy pathway for the day? That could be your one simple action. It's just an example. And so I just want to remind you, the strongest energy always prevails. I love this law because it reminds me on a daily basis, I can choose love, I can choose anger, I can choose somewhere in between, but whatever feeling I'm feeling strongest in that moment, that's what's going to show up in my life for me. And so that's why it's important for us to bring that focus on what it is that we want so that we can create that balance. So the 3 steps to bring in balance. 1 is choose one area of focus, just one area. That's all we want to focus on. Step 2 is to commit to taking one action over the next 3 months, while also allowing yourself to be flexible when problems and challenges show up. Phone calls at 5:30 in the morning, they're not expected, but you can allow yourself to be flexible instead of automatically saying, oh, well, that ruins my whole day. We can be flexible. We can allow that. Step 3 is you want to know how you want to feel at the end of 3 months. We want to go to the end. And we want to remind ourselves, this is where I'm moving towards. This is what I'm feeling more of. This is what I'm cultivating so that I can have this balance. Now, as I say this, I know that there are lots of areas in our lives that might be unbalanced in various ways. And sometimes we're not always sure where to put our focus. All right? So what I'm going to do in this autumnal equinox window, that window is usually for 3 days. So I'm going to say it's from today, Wednesday, September 23rd, until Friday, September 25th. And what's happening during that time is that I'm offering an intuitive card reading. And I'm saying it's autumnal equinox style because we're going to use the energy of this wheel of the year point so that we can call in any clarity that I can help you with. So what an intuitive card reading is, it's a 4-card reading, and it's going to be answering the question, what area of my life will serve my highest and best interest to focus on for the next 3 months for creating more balance. And I'm offering this to you all for just $11. It is a special pricing point, but it is a email reading, so I will tune into you before when I'm using the cards. I will ask this question, and I will bring forth that which is wanting to be known to you right now. So to claim this reading, you simply go to Sacred Vision Life /card reading. There are a few questions there for you to fill out on that page so that I can be sure that we can connect and that you can receive your reading and answers. Once I receive that answers from that questionnaire, then I will bill you the $11. Once your payment is made, you can expect to receive your reading in your email inbox in the next 48 hours. Now, I know sometimes people like to connect personally, and so I do have a few spots for live readings, maybe 5 or 8. I'll have to double check my schedule, but I have something like that. So if you prefer to get on the phone with me, I'm perfectly happy to do that. We can get on the phone and we can do the reading live together, and then depending on how much time, you could possibly even ask me a second question. So if that feels really juicy and it feels more in alignment, you can always personal message me and I'll give you the details, and you can see the costs there on your screen. So to receive your reading for just $11, you go to sacredvisionlife.com /card reading. Fill out those questions there and you will be receiving your reading in your email box in the next 48 hours. So happy autumnal equinox. I am so happy that you chose to join me on this video. I'm sending you love, abundant blessings, and just sending you my greatest wishes that your harvest during this time of year produce your deeper desires. Take care. Namaste.